Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Tinu Tadese. I am going to be sharing a topic with you today. I'm excited to share that topic, so let's just dive right into it. So my topic for today is about your personal story. Don't forget to tell your story. Every IMG has a story to tell. I want you to think about it very deeply. For those who have been my mentees, my students, they know how big I am on telling your story. The question though is, do you know what your story is? Your story is not what other people say your story is. Your story is your story. It's your work experience. It's your education. It's your certification. They are the skills that you've brought together. That story has skills and experiences that no one else but you has gone through. You went through those and you ought to tell it. Now, it's how you tell it that makes the difference. Someone looks at you and they think, oh, she's just an IMG, or he's just an IMG, went to school in Africa, went to medical school in the Ukraine, and all those. And they look at you disparagingly. They look down at you. You're not good enough. When you get to the room, nobody wants to listen to you. You have an accent. I want to tell you today, your accent does not matter. It's what you bring to the table that matters. So you need to be able to tell that story. How do you tell that story? You tell that story through your resume. You tell that story through your bio. You tell that story through your cover letter. You tell that story when you're in a room and you give a 30-second elevator pitch. You tell that story when you're in the elevator with somebody and you're talking and you just want to know what they think about you, but even more so, you want to tell them what you want them to think about you. So this is how I want you to start to think about it. You want to develop what I call a brag bank. My students know this. I'm big on the brag bank. I do it for myself and I want you to do it for yourself. In your brag bank should be your education. So baseline, you have an MD, that's why you're an IMG, you're an international medical graduate. That's your number one degree that you want to push out there. I know you may be right now a medical assistant. You may be right now doing a job that you hate and you're ashamed of, but don't ever forget you went to medical school. That's part of your story and you should put it out there. The other thing I want you to think about are the other things you've done. Did you have a degree before going to medical school? That's part of your story. What is it? Is it engineering? Is it computer science? Or is it nursing? Whatever it is you've done, it's part of your story and you've got to tell it. What are the skills you have? There's some of us who went through med school, but went through some certain things. For example, I was always one of the first in medical school to jump to assist the surgeon. So I have some surgical skills that maybe some of my friends don't have. How about even things baseline like phlebotomy? Every doctor has that. You want to start to categorize those skills. That's part of your story. Well, did you go to school, say somewhere in Eastern Europe? Well, maybe you're able to you're able to speak a language with nobody else. That's part of your story. Can you speak French? That's part of your story. Can you speak Hausa? Can you speak Yoruba? Can you speak Swahili? That's part of your story. What things have you done in your past? That's part of your story. Don't forget to put your passions in there, because what you're passionate about, you're going to put a lot of energy into it, whether you're paid for it or not. That's part of your story. I just want you to know that you are brilliant and you need to tell your story. Well, I hope this has been helpful for you. I don't have enough time to get into the details, but don't forget, all those things when you write them in your brag bank will eventually find their way into your resume. It will find their way into the personal summary of your resume. It will find their way into the different work experiences. And I guess I want to leave this with you. The way I have seen resumes written is not the best way to write it for most IMGs. You can't just send your resume out there for someone who doesn't know anything about medical school, medical degrees, or does not know anything about IMG. strategies to put it in a way that will give you the best opportunity out there. So always remember, you are different, you are special, and you are brilliant. So I hope this helped you. I want you to tell your story, and I want you to continue to tell your story. Make sure that that story is progressive. You're adding one skill upon another skill. As long as you're breathing, you have hope and you have opportunity for the best life ahead of you. Be your best self. You are brilliant, and I hope you remember that.